Okay, moving to the volleys as we're gonna start the volleys. We need to remember how we hold the racket for the volleys. So we're gonna start with the continental grip, just like the serve that we went through. The serve is basically you hold the racket with the left hand, and with the right hand you hold it to the left side. Think about you're holding like more of a hammer, and then you're holding this sideways. But the first thing we need to learn or remember is when a volley, the racket when we start as a ready position is tilted to the side of the backhand. You're not starting like this. Nobody started a volley. If you see all the pros, when they're waiting at the net, they're waiting sideways at the backhand. Why is the backhand? Because the backhand, it acts the racket like the shield. So if anything comes to right at the face or comes to the side, you can always hit a backhand volley. So you can hit 60% of your shots is more of a backhand rather than a forehand volley. Besides, it's much easier to go with between the backhand to the forehand, much easier with the wrist. But the other way around is harder. So you start with the backhand as a ready position, and you need to work how you get for the backhand and how you actually punch. And we're gonna learn how to block or punch with the backhand first before we're switching to the forehand. Okay, starting with the volleys, as we saw in the intro, that the ready position and the volleys start this way, and you know how to switch between a forehand and backhand. But we're gonna go the details how to finish or how to hit a backhand and forehand volley. So starting with the backhand, as you know, if you're still in the ready position here, the backhand is so simple because you're just gonna start turning the racket towards your left. Almost, if you see a clock right here, you just turn it towards 10 o'clock, facing sideways like that. Always make sure the butt cap facing the side, so the backhand doesn't start like that or coming down. You actually be tilted. Think about like a slice that we do, and I highly suggest to start working on your backhand slice first before doing the volleys, because it's very similar to that. So I'm going to start sideways again, and all you're going to do, you're going to turn, so it's always 2 steps in the volley. One going sideways, then step across with the right foot to volley. And it's a very short chip or slice, like very short burst. You don't go like this or taking the racket behind you. You can always see the back of your strings on the volleys, and you can just step and get a very short burst to step in. So we're gonna do a quick practice on that against the wall. I'm gonna have my racket up, and I'm gonna start turning like this. As I'm making the contact, I'm gonna step and go forward. So I'm gonna turn my racket towards 10 o'clock again, and then I'm gonna step forward. I'm gonna catch it, and then again, as I'm making the contact, I'm stepping forward and catch. This is a really good drill because you can actually know where you can go and step in. And of course, the only thing suggestion is you still want to keep your left hand on the frame when you volley, but because I'm self-feed, I'm just start here, my left hand to feed, but in case just you do the full swing and that, you just keep your left hand up. As you get better, you can actually rally against the wall for the backhand, against the wall for the backhand. So I'm gonna have my racket up, and then I'm gonna volley just like that, and see if I can tap it up and keep going. See that? And then keep my left hand even up forward on that. So that's a great volley if you can actually have a coordination to volley against the wall. This is the best thing you can do right here. Keep your racket up, keep your racket up, and then keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep your racket up, and slice, just your left hand, and going, keep going, okay? And that was it for the one-handed backhand. Now, moving on to the forehand, it's simple, but we just need to get some coordination about the turning from the backhand to the forehand. As I said, start learning your backhand volley first before you forehand, because 60% of your balls you're gonna get as a backhand, not a forehand, especially when a body shot comes to you. This is how you can protect yourself, so you always wanna start on the backhand side. So, the forehand, as you see, we're starting with the backhand again. It's a wrist flip. It's very important to know it's you actually flipping your wrist between a forehand to backhand. You're not getting the racket back for a volley. All you have to do is you start 10 o'clock, you flip the racket face by your wrist, and your elbow and shoulder stays like here, tucked in. You're not opening your arm. So you're just gonna go like this. And then with the opposite foot, the left foot, we're just gonna come in and do another chip. So one more time. You're turning, and then keep your left hand out and go. So see, I'm pointing to the ball, and then just go like that. So this is where we need to do the flip and then step. The flip from the backhand to the forehand with the wrist and step. And we can practice that also against the wall, or if you're doing like that. I'm gonna flip, and then I'm gonna step with the left foot. Catch it again, I'm doing flip, and then step. As you see my follow through, I'm just going straight like this, and then my arm, so start sideways, And then when I'm going, I'm straightening out my arm, but no swinging. Don't try to come across. Don't go up, obviously, but you're just gonna go forward, but like more of a side chip or side slice you do in the ball. So again, go, and then step, one more time, go here, and step, and go. Now, I'm gonna start volleying against the wall, just like I was doing for the forehand. So I'm gonna do like this, go, right up, sideways. See if I can keep the racket stable, not moving. See that? I'm keeping my racket very stable, and I'm just tapping it. I'm not swinging, I'm just blocking. This is a really good exercise to see how you can control it, how you can move. And then if you get really better, you can switch to the backhand and doing the same thing. And then I'm switching into forehand and doing the same thing with the volley. So try to keep doing that. You can actually keep it going. And then with the left foot, always try to step with the left foot for forehand and with the right foot for the backhand. So that was the volley. Thank you. Okay, another view I'd like to show you on the volleys is actually the take back. So as I mentioned, the take back is so short right next to you, and your shoulder and your elbows tucked in, and then you're going to step in and go forward. So the best way actually to practice your take back is actually try to rally again against the wall, because if you try to get the racket back and you try to swing, you're gonna make a lot of errors and you'll not be able to rally against the wall in the volley. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you again. We're starting with the forehand. I'm turning sideways. I'm just going to step in and go. As you see, my racket is just right next to me and my elbows tucked in, and then I'm moving sideways like that. I'm just going forward as a punch or a slice. So going like that again. If you see, my racket is barely going beyond my shoulder, so it's actually right next to my shoulder or up, and I'm also starting up a little bit more towards 2 o'clock for the forehand, and then I'm going to switch again for the backhand. Same thing, the take back is very short. I can see almost the back of my strings if I'm looking at the racket. And same thing, if you let it bounce, it's okay, and you can go like that. And then same thing, you can actually switch and then go again straight, going forward. As you see, I'm stepping in with my opposite foot when I'm doing the volley. So if I'm switching, I'm stepping in with my right foot, doing the same thing. If you can volley and go. Now, if it's hard for you to do it off the air, you can do the same thing as a volley, but let the ball bounce just like a slice. But it's almost the same technique, except let the ball bounce, and instead of going forward. Same thing for the backhand right here. It's almost like a slice, like what we're doing, except I'm not turning too much. I'm just stepping in and take it. Step in and take it. So that was the volley technique, and show you how to take back for it. Thank you.